We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Cactus Wrestling is now available on Spotify and Amazon. And don't forget to check us out on Etsy for all of your Cactus Wrestling apparel needs. Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. Conference tournaments are in the book. And man, oh man, this one was pretty crazy. Mike and I went to Big Tens last year.
Yeah, we did.
I don't think there were as many crazy upsets last year
There was
compared
No, not
to
really.
this
Last
year.
year was pretty tame compared to this year.
Yeah,
Carter
and that's just
Strachey
Big
not
Ten.
winning.
Okay, but he didn't even step on the mat.
That bold strategy.
So, if you didn't see, I put a post out. We wanted to hear what questions you wanted for us to kind of address in our conference recap video. So, we're just going to give some shout outs and go through the questions one by one to get started, and then we can go from there.
You good?
Sorry. Oh, I got something stuck in the throat there. Anyway, we'll start off with Ethan Chand. A lot on 149. In my opinion, the most interesting weight after conference weekend. I would say maybe 141 might be
I
a
was
little bit
gonna say,
more
like,
interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
But 149, let's talk about it. So Caleb Henson wins the ACCs. No surprise there.
Yeah, as expected there.
Shane Van Ness, though, drops the ball.
Yeah, that was I don't think anyone really
Unexpected. I mean, I've been high on Cannon Webster. I didn't think he was going to beat Van Ness, but Van Ness looked a little off in that match. He was very passive, and Cannon Webster got in multiple times, had multiple opportunities to score, and Van Ness almost kind of looked a little sluggish, a little tired.
It was a very low scoring match for him in general.
Yeah.
I don't. Shane isn't, he typically likes to score. I think that like a 4-2 match, you don't think Shane Van Ness, you think Bo Bartlett. But I'm serious, like jokes aside, like you don't like Shane's typically a guy that likes to score. Webster had one heck of a tournament though. Give him that.
That he did. I mean, he almost claimed the title.
He did almost claim the title.
Yeah, Ridge really didn't really wrestle at all in the finals. He
Like,
kind of
he
played
he
it
saved
safe.
it all for Parco, where he scored, basically a complete reversal of the last result of him and Parco. So
Yes. Well, Ridge is like, I mean, you're talking about a guy that's like so feared as a top wrestler. Like he
Yeah.
can really, and his neutral game's solid as well. Like, it's not like
yeah.
he's just like, oh, if I can survive first period, I'll be fine. I mean, he's good on his feet. He's deadly on top. He's a complete wrestler. He was number one for a reason last year.
Well, yeah, returning runner up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
The year
exactly.
off, but
Uh,
So I mean, I still think this one is kind of top heavy. I think I've been picking Henson from the jump. I think Henson is still a favorite, and he's still my pick to win it all. But you
you
look
don't
at
think
other
Parco's
conference
going to
champ.
rebound from this and be a contender?
Who?
Parco?
no,
He'll All American. He always does.
Yeah, no, he's going to be like right around fifth.
But Jordan Williams wins the Pac-12. Pinheiro Johnson wins the Big 12. Sorry, did I say Pac-12 or Big 12?
Pinero's at 57, wasn't he?
Pinheiro's at 149.
Oh, oh no, yeah, he was started the year 57. Yeah.
Travis looked good though.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, Teague
I was like, that's a
stepping in.
big storyline.
So yeah, lots to look forward to at 149. I think I don't know. I'm still picking Henson. What about
I'm
you
still,
guys?
I'm gonna go with Shane still. I think that
Oh
like
my
yes he did.
God.
Dude, what?
Well, I was high on Shane, then he lost by
Okay.
major to Ridge. And I was like, I mean, it's possible, less likely. But now that Cannon Webster was able to knock him off, I find it very difficult to believe that he's going to be able to put together the tournament he needs to win it.
Don't disrespect Cannon Webster like that.
It's true.
Um,
Freshman. Illinois. How about Illinois?
yeah. I don't know. I was going back to our old videos about our way too early predictions. Um,
I mean,
Jeff, you have been riding with Caleb the whole time. Mike and myself and Eamon, we're going with Shane.
yep.
I'm sticking to it. I think Penn State's
No.
big tournament again is nationals. I mean, we see it every year. They overperform at nationals.
And so does Caleb Henson.
Oh, hey, maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. I mean, if he does, it'd be awesome. It'd be historic for Virginia Tech, which again we've kind of talked about is putting together quietly a pretty solid program. I mean, the fact that Bo Bassett had them in as like one of his final schools really speaks volumes to the way the program is moving.
Yeah.
But they didn't get him. So,
They didn't, but you know, you can't get everybody.
well, speaking of Virginia Tech, Stetson Starkey, what went wrong for UNC at ACCs? How big of a deal was Virginia Tech dethroning NC State? Super sad about both those topics, but my masochism still wants to hear about it. So I think that I've been saying it from the jump. I don't think NC State's going to have a single All-American this year.
Didn't they take third?
They lost to Pitt.
Yeah.
Now I get it that they're redshirting Ryan Jack and Jackson Arrington,
Okay.
but
That
I don't
that's
think
I don't
even
think
if
those two
both of
guys are
those
the difference
guys,
maker between first and third.
yeah, I don't think if I don't know because
Especially not in that conference. It's only 7 teams or 8 teams now.
Arrington
7 teams?
is going to be
Seven.
going 57 next year, so they got Ed Scott in there who didn't win.
Well, yeah,
Julio
who's also
Gilliam.
coming off of not all Americaning.
The only NC State win was Matty Singleton at 174, I believe, because Trumbull got upset.
Yep.
Vincent Robinson lost. Kairini lost.
I feel like Arini's not even the same guy that he had been for the past few years.
No, I mean,
No, he's All American the past 2 years, and he's took eighth the past 2 years. He's got 7 losses going into NCAAs.
Yeah, not where you want to be.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think Virginia Tech and NC State have always had like a good back and forth rivalry, and we were just talking about it. Virginia Tech, Ventresca is looking really good. I think Ventresca's honestly a title contender at 125.
Which is crazy when you think about last year.
do you
Well, he
feel
was
like
hurt. He was hurt.
Yeah, but he started the season off with a losing record and then injury out for the rest of the year. But still,
Yeah.
do you
starting off that way, it was like, what happened to this guy?
do you guys still think Vincent Robinson is a title contender? Not maybe threat, but like he's someone.
I never saw him that. Mike was the one who
I
picked
saw
him.
him as I picked him as the title, but
Have you kind of like shifted a little bit on that? I mean, he's had a lot of good wins. He's had some some tough losses,
yeah, I don't think
but I
just
think he
based on
might
how
have those
NC
wins
State
still.
typically does at NCAAs,
That's yeah.
I feel like he'll make the quarters or the semis at best, and then that's about it. Like I don't think he's going to be in the final.
You think you think he'll place though?
I think Vincent Robinson will All-American. I know
Okay.
Jack said none for NC State. I think Vincent Robinson will be the guy that gets on the podium of any of the guys there. But yeah, I don't see him as the title contender that I once did.
What's crazy about Virginia Tech is that they did all this with Lennox Wallach and TJ Stewart
Yeah.
severely underperforming.
TJ Stewart didn't even get an at-large bid, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
again,
the at-large bids came out, and yes,
yeah, they came out around
Oh
like
yeah, you didn't. Yeah.
noon today, I think.
Wow, you go from seventh in the country to not even qualifying.
It's so. I mean, I talked to you guys about it because I followed his high school career, and coaches. He wrestled for Blair, amazing school. He had incredible results, but the murmur about him was always like he's not committed, he's not dedicated, he's not going to be the guy when the chips are down. And I feel like we're seeing that now from him. Is that you know he had a great freshman season, came out of nowhere, and then he has done zero to improve or follow up on it.
Hey, it's the sophomore slump.
It is. I
it's
mean, maybe
so
we'll see. We'll see what happens next year. I mean, hopefully, maybe he's at the wrong weight and he's cutting too much, or he's been dealing with an injury all season that we weren't aware of, or he's been doing personal issues outside of the rooms.
yeah, maybe he's having a Ventresca year.
It could be, but it's so impressive that like ACC's has been like the NC State homecoming party for like a while.
Yeah, they've been
And they got
a lock on that conference for
by
years.
30 points. by Virginia Tech, who in theory underperformed.
Yeah.
And then they also lost to Pitt.
Yeah, by a single point. I mean, that must have stung more than losing to Virginia Tech.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
but granted, Stanford didn't wrestle a 125 pounder all year. They'll have Nico Provo back, I'm assuming. UNC's on the rebound with Cole. So ACC is going to get a little bit more competitive, I think.
For sure. Oh, you hope so.
Okay. Next comment. Dave Hoy. Was Penn State overrated? Mendez a big surprise? Van Ness disappointed? We already kind of talked about Van Ness a little bit. Was Penn State overrated? Well,
I mean,
what was their
Yes
total
and no.
points?
They had like 187 and a half, I think. I'd have to pull up the exact
So
number.
they
hold on. Yeah, I can
outscored
pull it up.
They
they
did. They
outscored what
outscored
they
last year. Yeah. This was the
yeah.
They
most,
had no, no, they had 181 and a half.
still outscored
This
last.
year?
Yeah.
This year they had 181 and a half. Yeah.
And what did they have last year?
170.5.
I don't have last year up at the
Don't
moment.
quote me on that.
So,
But they did outscore last year. I do know that. I was looking at it earlier. Um,
I think the big question mark is, Josh Barr. Is he going to be healthy? Is he even going to be able to wrestle? Because I don't
uh,
know.
that
How bad is that injury? Yeah.
I mean,
some
we're not
people,
talking about Carter Sirachi injury. At least Carter had another 2 weeks because he didn't wrestle at
yeah,
conference. This just happened.
Yeah, it was
Now he's
170.
got
Confirmed.
10 days to turn it around. Ugh. I mean, you don't like to see anyone get hurt, but
yeah.
that's huge. I mean, I
I
think it's still going to be a lock for Penn State to win the title, but
that's what I was gonna say. Is like as much as like you'd like to see the individual, champion and great results potentially from expected results from Josh Barr. I don't think his lack of wrestling, if he sits out and he's like I'm too banged up to go, I don't think it's enough for any team to jump Penn State still. But now, Penn State probably doesn't get the record they were probably, secretly chasing this year.
But they did qualify
10.
all 10.
Yeah.
shout
So,
out to the other three teams that qualified all 10.
right?
UNI, Ohio State. I was surprised by that one.
You and
And
I and
Cornell.
Ohio State. Yeah, I was not expecting both of those teams.
I
Like, I
was
mean,
also not
I,
surprised. I was also a little surprised by Cornell. How
Yeah.
they, but at a small
that's the
conference.
Ivy
It's the
League.
Ivies. It's the Ivies. Um, I think Penn State was both overrated and underrated in this. And like, I how about the reason is, would you have expected Bo Bartlett to beat Mendez again? I didn't.
I did not think. No, I said it before that I thought the next time Mendez wrestles, or the next time or times Mendez wrestles Bartlett, he was going to win. And whoops,
You know
Now,
what's funny about that though? Bartlick does not. He only takes him down off of Mendez's shots. It's
attacks.
only his defense.
Big reattack guy.
He's a
Um,
huge reattack guy.
but in the same breath, did you guys expect Luke Littledahl to win the whole bracket?
no,
Obviously, I did.
not at all.
Expected him,
Once he got in, yeah, I wasn't expecting him to do what he did to Matt Ramos. You were questioning whether he was suffering from a weight cut, Mike, because you were saying he looked big.
Mike myself.
Yes, you weren't
I
you?
don't think so. No. Oh, Matt Ramos. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was thought you saying Luke Little. I thought no, no. Yeah, I didn't think Luke looked big. I think Ramos holding 125 can be so tough. He's done it for so many years. And he looked unusually tired in
Yeah.
his quarters match that went to overtime. And not that, Rivera is not a good wrestler. It's just like Ramos hadn't given up a takedown all year, and suddenly he's in a lockdown battle. I think the 2 day weigh-ins can be tough, but
My
I
my pause on yeah, my pause on Luke still is that he's still very much counter wrestler as well,
yeah,
and he's only scoring off of reattacks, it seems. So I'm wondering if that's
it's
gonna
going to be enough
be enough to
Because
get
yeah,
him.
guys are going to start to recognize that and make adjustments accordingly.
for sure. I was surprised how close the Caleb Smith match was with Luke Liddell. Um,
Was he stalling? Do you think so?
I think at one point, I think that the stall at the end of the match was warranted. I don't think the earlier one was.
Like the first one, the warning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to get up to, to have that many stall calls in such a short period of time, I was surprised by. Um, but I expected Braden Davis to do better, so that was underrated there or overrated, I guess.
No, I expected him to do kind of what he
Fourth?
did.
I don't know,
Fourth.
fourth.
Yes.
Wow. 41. I didn't expect Bo to beat Mendez, but I did expect him to meet him in the finals.
Yeah, we that was the Conti final was the final that most were
Um,
expecting.
49, I thought Shane Van Ness would also have made the final. I thought he was going to win the whole thing. 57, Kasak looked great. 65, Messenbrink, closest match he's had all year with,
Yeah, which was really surprising, especially considering the last matchup that they had.
yeah,
Like basically what happened in that match is what I thought was going to happen in the duel.
yes. So, 74, I think Levi looked great. A lot of people were picking Pinto. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why they'd be
Where'd you
picking.
hear
Um,
that?
I saw a lot of people that were like, not on YouTube, but like more on like wrestling Twitter. That's like, Pinto is gunning for him. He was chasing him down last time. This time, it's not even gonna be close. He's
I don't know about
we get
that.
by Levi.
Yeah. Those are some Cornhuskers that are making those.
Hey, like I said, I didn't think it was gonna be a close match, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Um, how about Carter versus Max?
Yo.
That was frightening
I
for
I picked. We all did our
Yeah,
predictions.
no, yeah, yeah.
I actually picked Max to
Jack
win.
goes Mad Max, and we're like, Jack, come on,
Jack and Maniac. But
be
then
realistic.
first takedown Carter's given up all year, and first takedown and how who knows when.
It's been, yeah, it's had to have been because last year he
Yeah.
didn't give up. Oh, no, no, last year at NCAAs, he gave up two takedowns,
Yes, because
two
yeah.
consecutive matches. That's the last
Yeah.
takedowns he gave up.
Um, Max McAnally has a very bright future. I was somewhat surprised with Cardenas winning the whole thing, but then I remembered that I picked him as my preseason pick, and then I realized I was just
Oh, and
right
then I
there.
remembered how smart I am, and
Yeah, right.
that's that.
I just realized, I know everything, and that's why. All right. Do you guys
No.
think Gable didn't try that hard?
Yes. He didn't
Yeah,
even
I
go for
feel
the
like
major.
he only tried like enough to win. He's like, I got a huge lead. It's good.
So I think in some ways Penn State underperformed there, but that's my comment on Dave Hoyle.
So, which Penn State wrestler do you think scored the most team points?
Uh,
Ooh. I think
I'm
Kasak because he
looking
got
at
the
this. I
Tyler,
can't make a
pin in
guess,
the
but
final.
yeah.
You have the answer, Mike?
yeah, I have the answer. Yeah.
I think Kasak because he
I
got
was
the
gonna
pin in
say
the final.
probably Kasak.
Yeah, so I guess it would surprise you that it was not Kyler Kasak, um, nor
Levi.
was it Carter Starachi. It was Lightning Luke.
Mm.
Ah!
He scored 23. Carter scored 21 and a half. Uh, Mesenbrink had 22 and a half. Kasak had 22.
Mm.
Uh, those were the only guys that were over 20.
Super impressive.
Wait,
Super great. Yeah.
Levi Haynes had 22. Sorry, I missed him.
Yeah, but we know what happened last year with at 125
Well, I
when
was thinking
the
the
Penn
same
State
thing.
wrestler won the
Thinking the
Big
same thing.
Tens.
One Big Tens. There's a chance.
Hidden All American.
There's a chance he gets the one seed. I was like, this is so familiar.
My obligatory
You
anti-Penn State comment. I watched Lightning Luke's post-match interview. Dude is just like,
Confident. It's not cocky. That's confident.
come on. He's like, they asked him,
Did
"Were
you
you
think we were
surprised
gonna
about
win?
the stalling calls?" He's like, "Yeah, I was surprised. I don't really get stalling calls, so I don't know why I got those." I'm like, "What are you talking? If you're
because you were
stalling,
stalling.
I
then
thought we
you
were
get
talking about
stalling
the
calls.
other.
Not that has nothing to do with past performances."
I thought you were talking about the other interview where he was like, he's like, were you surprised at all? He's like, no, like I'm just confident in my abilities. I know I'm the best wrestler.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he said that as well.
That's what I thought you were referring to, and I was like, that's confidence, dude. That's like a young man that's confident.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's different. That's not the yeah.
But
yeah,
yeah, I would like to see him score more. I don't think he's the same kind of guy as Braden Davis, though.
that's
Although
true. That's
I don't
true.
know if you guys remember this match. Luke and Bo Bassett, back when Bo was smaller, had a big freestyle match, and Luke kneed him in the face, like flying kneed him in the face.
Hmm. On purpose?
You could watch I'll send you guys the film if
Send the
you.
link. Send the link.
You could definitely make an argument that it was on purpose.
Wow. Next
It was
comment, Hingle McCringleberry. Is it McCringleberry? Hingle McCring?
Yeah, it's not the full name. It's
Hingo
well,
Hingham
first off,
McCringle.
great
McCringle.
skit. Loved Mad TV, loved Key and Peele, but
Rank the food served at each tournament in order of most to least
I think it's
sauce.
important to note that this is the highest thumbs up. Like this is the most liked comment on this chain.
As
Yeah,
it should
I
be.
mean, you commented on
I
it, but
did.
Dave Hoy wants to know and Varric wants to know. Um, I mean, the most sauce. Let's be real, the SoCon. They do it right. They lather it up.
They
That's that
lather.
southern.
Everyone forgets about them. They're the sauciest bunch. I'd say Pac-12's probably right up there.
You don't think the Mac?
Or no, Pac-12 in California, they probably have the least amount of sauce. They're all on that health cleanse.
So the Mac.
If it was at Chattanooga, maybe. I don't know where it was hosted. Ivy
Who,
League probably skimps out on the sauce.
who hosted Big 12s?
Big 12's was in Tulsa, the Bob's
Big
That's
Center.
Tens
that's a
was in
possibility, dude.
Northwestern.
That's a
That's a
possibility.
saucy one too.
Saucy State.
Northwestern
Big
was
Tens, it's probably your standard amount of sauce, I would say. EIWA, I'd say probably your standard amount as well. What are we forgetting about? There's one more.
Pac-12 had like
ACC, also very saucy.
I would say that's a saucy area. That's
very
Yeah,
saucy.
yeah.
So did you know that there's a Nebraska wrestler that outscored Luke Lilledall? Team
probably.
points.
Bo, no, not Bo. Brock Hardy.
Yeah, you right.
Yeah, I mean that's what you got when Brock Hardy's my favorite wrestler. I love that dude. Anyway, okay. Next comment, Mr. Grimble, Virginia, Virginia Tech in a team race at NCAAs. So what is
100%.
it? Top four?
Uh,
Top four get a trophy.
well,
A trophy.
didn't they get rid of top four for a set for like a year? They were
And
like,
no, they got rid of it
and they brought it back.
after a year, but they got it back.
Okay.
That was the year that Iowa State, it was like last year, the year before. Iowa State took fourth and they got the trophy late.
I don't think they're in a team race
I mean,
for
they'll be
top
in the team
four.
Kings, but not in the
You
team
don't
race.
think Virginia Tech's in the team race for top four?
No, I think they'll be in the top 10, but top four, that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, I do
Who are
think
your top four
Henson's
right
going to
now?
win, but like, I mean, losing Stewart is a big blow. You
Who
don't have all 10 guys. I think McGonagall could make some serious
they
noise.
have nine guys. Who's in your top 10 then?
Penn
Or
State,
top 10, top
Iowa
four.
State.
Oh, Penn State,
Yep.
Oklahoma State, Nebraska's probably going to be close.
I would say give you and I some credit too. I
I was
think
about to
I
say,
think
what about you and I?
you
They have fucking 10 guys.
you and I
Well,
could be up there too.
Minnesota could score a lot of points just through Gable alone,
Yeah, that's true. All you need is a champion
and Max. I mean, honestly, Max and Gable.
and Von Bauer.
No, it's not going
Yeah,
to
and they got Von Bauer. They got
Don't go
Sark in
that
the
far.
tournament who's been competitive.
Minnesota might be a secret team to watch out for here.
They have nine guys qualified.
Yeah, no, but like the chances are three of them are going to really put up a lot of points.
Well, and then they might have a secret Von Bauer that's going to be a low seed that All-Americans.
It's true. That's true.
A guy filling Von Bauer's void from last year.
I would guess that Virginia Tech is going to be like top 12.
12. You're not even putting them in the top 10.
Where do you have them?
Virginia Tech.
I'm
Let's
gonna
see.
say
Henson's going to win.
7.
I
'Cause
could
I think-
see them
I think
finishing
Hippolito's
between,
gonna
like,
go-
8th and 11th.
I think Hippolito's going to go far at 57.
I think
Oh,
his
yeah.
style is very much like boom or bust, and I think that
Well, that's Bryce Andonian. So
But that's the point is that it could
he'll
bite him in
make the
butt.
semis and then slide to 6th.
I don't
That doesn't
know.
matter. That's team points though.
That
If
is-
And then Ventresca could honestly make a team title run or a
Pretty
title
Tresca
run.
could.
oh, yeah.
McGonagall could too.
But I feel like so many of these guys are boom or bust, and I feel like I'm gonna bet on the under.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry,
come
Virginia Tech.
on.
My buddy went there. Him and his wife met there. I always have to.
Yeah, I know. You're always anti-Virginia Tech.
I
I
got,
got
yeah,
it.
it's the same thing why I hate
The
this team.
Don't like your buddy, huh?
Yeah.
I love him. That's why I have to. You have to root against your good friends. It's, you know,
Okay. Raymond Devens, 68-38. Pintos semis last second controversial takedown. Before
They
we get to the
reviewed that for
last
like 8 minutes, right?
No, 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 no. That was the one before. So
Oh.
there was 2 takedowns in this one. One of them was right by the edge, and they reviewed it for 8 minutes, literally on YouTube. Go watch the match, an 8-minute review, and they didn't give him, even though it
That's
looked
like
pretty
freaking
clear.
Vito Fix last year.
Yeah. And then the last second takedown was wild. I don't know what Bronicle was doing. He just allowed Pinto to get in and take him down. I think partially for me, I feel
Oh,
like
that's Salazar.
after not overturning it on the 8-minute one, the refs felt maybe like, oh shoot, now we're in a similar situation. We have to make a judgment call. And I don't know what the call was, whether they awarded it or reversed it. I think they reversed it actually. Maybe it was a makeup call, but man, yeah, that was a wild match. I think Pinto was fighting against the ref the entire match, so I'm glad that he ended up getting the win.
Right. Well, I mean, the Broncos, I was very surprised with how they, I mean, I know they're scrappy and all, but I wasn't expecting them both to take third.
What do you mean, Mike? He took down Keegan O'Toole twice.
Yeah. But he managed to blow it in spectacular fashion.
It's not blowing it. It's Keegan just that's how he wrestles. Keegan was down against Hamady and he come back and
He
won.
was down 4-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also
He's
wasn't
just that
expecting
good.
Bronicle to beat Harkla twice,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
or the other Bronicle to beat Salazar.
Yeah, Salazar not the same guy at 97, it seems.
Yeah, but that's another guy for Minnesota who, I mean, he could potentially do something.
Yeah, maybe. So John S8Q, which wrestlers really showed us something new and different? Like at 84, Max really could have beaten Carter. What does that portend? What is that word? Portend for a rematch? And how does he compare with Ferrari? Like at 65, best mess, barely scraped by Mikey C. What does that portend for a rematch? What are these words?
4 times. Let's see. I don't know.
Okay, so which wrestlers showed us something new and different?
Port Portend to be a sign or warning that something, especially something monumentous or calamitous, is likely to happen.
Oh,
i.e.,
calamitous. We got some
the
Word of the
calamity
eclipses.
in.
day.
The
I love
eclipses
it.
portend some major events. To
This is where you
inspect,
learn new things at Cactus Wrestling. The commenters bring it to us and
we
we
got
bring
the
it to you.
smartest comment section in any YouTube video.
Yes.
Johnny
A little round
Boy
of applause for you,
S8Q.
sir.
I think my big one is Brock Hardy beating Mendez. I
Yeah.
think I listened to his post match interview and he was very much like, I was in a dark space after losing to Bo and something just kind of clicked and he kind of talks like he's a Penn State wrestler. Like I don't wrestle for the outcome. I wrestle to score points and have fun. And something's really been clicking and he's very excited and he's starting to see the outcomes that he's been training for. So I think this Brock Hardy is dialed in right at the right time.
I will speak about a different conference. I was super surprised that Richie Figs lost to unranked North Dakota State wrestler Tristan Daughtry.
Yeah, that guy ended up taking like sixth.
And then additionally, like I'm surprised Evan Frost lost not just once, but
Oh
twice,
yeah.
including getting almost teched by Cade Moore.
Yeah, that was the first loss was to Cade Moore, and then he lost by a point to Farber. So he ended up losing to the
Yep.
guys that took third and
That's your
fourth.
boy, Mike.
And then additionally, like
Well,
if you would have told me Bronigal would have beat Harchla not just once, but twice in the same tournament, I wouldn't have
that's what
believed
I
it.
was saying earlier.
That's my point. It's like
Yeah.
I wouldn't have believed it, especially, um,
After Hartzell's match, we had with Haynes.
so those are guys that I think also really showed up that maybe don't get as much attention. Like Brock Hardy's been a top wrestler for years. And I'm glad
Yeah,
he's
but
made,
now
Yeah,
he's
but
a
he,
legitimate title contender.
yeah,
I
but I
mean,
feel like
what a
he's always
redemption arc from the Spladle heard around the world
That's true.
sure.
He
or
was a
seen
meme.
around the world.
Um, who else had interesting losses? Uh,
Well, I mean, Bo losing to Von Bauer wasn't exactly. I mean,
Rini, I was surprised with Rini over Buzakis. I feel like
Re-
we talked about
yeah.
Buzakis, like we don't know what version of him we're ever gonna
Well,
get.
because then he beat Braden Davis.
How about Iowa's formerly Iowa, Cody Seabrick beating also formerly Iowa Cody Chittum.
I saw. Did you see Max Askren? He was just like
Worst, yeah,
investment ever. Seabrook could have placed seventh at Big Tens. Instead, you
yep,
got Teamer. Yeah.
yep.
That's so true. Worst investment ever because Teamer really
They
packed it
paid a
in.
lot of money. Um, how about the other part of his question? Could Max have beaten Carter?
Yeah, and I think
I mean,
if
obviously,
if
it was an overtime match. He could
if
have.
if we do see a rematch, I think it's going to be very scary.
I I don't know. I was well, no, I responded to this because I said, it's cliche, but like it's the same way that Keegan gets it is one guy that always gets it done. I think Carter is the same way. Like winners win.
Keegan didn't always get it done. David Carr beat him.
But typically he's the guy. I mean,
Spencer Lee.
all right.
Okay, yeah, Carter typically gets it done, but if he doesn't get it done at NCAAs, then it
All right,
don't
so
matter.
could he have beaten him? Yes. Was there I'm watching the match and I'm not like, oh my gosh, like Carter's on the ropes.
Okay, but probably weren't thinking, oh, McAnally's on the ropes.
I knew Carter was gonna win. It's the same way that like
I
when
mean, I wouldn't go
Carter
as far as saying I knew that watching it.
what?
I wouldn't say like, oh, they're in
Had
overtime.
to.
I know Carter's pulling this out. Like,
Carter wanted that to go to tiebreakers. He
Is
was
Carter a
very
better wrestler?
defensive
I
in
mean,
overtime.
is Max a better wrestler than Parker Keckheisen?
We don't know. We haven't seen him wrestle.
What based on what on the film, what you guys have seen them accomplish so far up to this point?
I mean, I find it very hard to believe that if Max has to go through Parker and Carter, that he'll be able to pull off
Oh,
back-to-back wins like that.
I don't think he beats Parker. And I think Carter does beat Parker again.
But what if or what if Carter has to go through Max?
I think he gets it done. He
Mhm.
did it last year when he wrestled two national champions in back-to-back matches.
Okay, but neither national champion brought him to overtime.
Sometimes it happens, sometimes
Parker and Max have brought him
Do
to
you
overtime.
that's
do you
fine.
think that Kekaizen is a level above Shane Griffith and Makai though?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean,
So
he's asking me because he's trying to get me to defend my point.
yeah, so like the level of competition is harder though.
Yeah. And I'm not, and Carter's got,
I would definitely argue that the level of competition is harder because it's literally two guys that have brought the guy to overtime compared to two guys that just lost to him.
yeah. But again, I just think he gets it done. Same thing that like Mitchell Messenbrink. I don't see a world where Mikey Caliendo beats him, despite how close it was last time.
I mean, it's
He's
extremely
taken him
unlikely.
down before, but yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna take
That's kind of how I see the situation. Um, to get to the last part of his question, which is in the middle, I am super excited for a future. I mean, he mentions Ferrari, but not in this exact way. 184 next season is going to be super exciting when you have Zach Ryder from Penn State, Max McAnally from Minnesota, Angelo Ferrari from Iowa, and then whoever else I'm sure is going to rise from those ashes with all
Rocco
the.
Welsh too.
I'm not that worried about Rocco Welsh.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
He's so low on Rocco,
So
How could you not be?
disrespectful.
He doesn't do anything.
Oh,
but he took second in the country.
You-
Yeah.
Does nothing.
Not a big point scorer. You can't say that. You guys even said it last year. If we go back to the tape, that Rocco Welsh did nothing to get to the finals.
He won.
And what did you just get finished saying? Winners win.
And Rocco Welsh isn't a winner yet. He's just a guy that happened to
Oh
win.
my gosh. He's a freshman, took second place.
Yeah, and he'll
Yeah,
probably never make
okay.
the finals again.
Just because you hate the Buckeyes.
I love Coach Ryan. I think that it was the whole Sammy Sasso thing. I think I predicted that from day one. I said that they're basically weakened at Bernieing him.
I mean, he
Yeah,
does have no
well,
chance.
I don't. It's not even a lock that Zach Ryder's going to be the guy at 184, though.
I don't think Josh Barr's going down.
Really?
No, I think he's gotten too big. But it's the same. Like I have a ton of respect for the Buckeye program, but some of the things they do, I'm just like Sammy Sasso should have just been like, dude, I made the dramatic comeback. I'm not gonna have the career I know I could have had. I'm gonna move forward and I'm gonna be the best coach ever because man, can he wrestle and man, can he coach. I mean, look how much he's helped his younger brother. Um, So I don't know if Ryder continues to develop there or if Ryder transfers. There's been that rumor. I don't know if that's actually going to come true. That's all I have to say about this comment, though.
Well, I got a couple other ones. What did you guys think about Bird and Barraclaw?
I thought I was sad to see Terrell lose.
Yeah, right.
I really had him as someone that like could challenge for a national title.
I mean, maybe he still can, but
He still can. I mean, just
he's
it's going to be a little bit tougher.
yeah, he might just have to, get through get past Mets and Brink before the finals because that's you know
Yeah. Um, and about Lucas Bird, it's 2 years in a row now that Iowa has yet to have a Big Ten champ.
Just wait
And
until next year when both Ferraris don the
hey,
black.
we'll see. Um,
what you think Iowa's gonna come calling on AJ?
100%. 100%.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, especially after, did you see AJ's video, not his video, his post-match interview where he talked with, at the Pac-12 and he's like, a lot of people doubted me and they were telling me how bad my training partners were and my coaches. He goes, and they were right, but I got it done. Like,
And
Yeah,
not
they
he's
those,
like
were right.
he's
not
like,
those
I may
exact,
not have the best training partners, but
it
I'm
was, yeah,
still
it
the
wasn't those
best. I'm the
exact
most
words.
flexible. I'm the best. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, he was like,
He
he
did that
basically,
all while wearing a Ferrari t-shirt.
yeah, he took a dig at his team, his
Oh
teammates,
my
his
God.
coaching staff, and then, basically talked about himself. And I was like, man, he is still so Iowa.
Yeah, well, he was like that at Oklahoma State too,
He
though.
was, but they looked past it because they saw him as a cartoon character.
Mm.
They're like, he'll grow out of it. And they're like, several years later, he has not.
No, he's grown into it.
Unrelated, but did you guys hear about the drama at the Big 12s with the weigh-in?
I heard about it. I didn't get the full scoop. Do you guys know
Apparently, it had something to do with Tegan Jameson sitting on a bike,
are the Air
cutting
Force
weight,
coaches or something?
and then John Smith
Oh, it's
threw.
Johnson.
I don't know. I just rumors, and Brian Smith of Missouri was like wanted to get him disqualified or something, and John Smith threw a big stink, and I don't
Oh,
know.
interesting.
Anyway, we have one last comment. Michael De La Rosa, who is ranked number one at 141. I'm glad you asked this question, Michael,
Oh,
because
because
the
we
two
were even
Michaels
talking about
here
it.
were debating, and we were debating this in our group chat as well. I
It's really
believe
hard.
that Bo Bartlett will get the number one seed.
No.
Here's why. He still took third place at the Big Tens. His only loss came to Vance Faubauer. He has wins over the Big Ten champion Brock Hardy and Jesse Mendez twice. He is, I believe, number two in the
Yep.
RPI, only behind Mendez.
Yep.
Coaches rankings, he might drop a tad, but still, there's no one that I think has a pedigree that can be placed higher.
Why not Kale Happel?
Here we go. Kale Kale Happel. Okay,
How many
Kale
losses?
Happel.
You
How many
know,
losses
he
he
won his
got?
conference.
He's got three losses on the year. One to Moshe Schwartz, not a great loss. One to Julian Tagg
It doesn't
of
matter
South
who the
Dakota
loss is
State.
to. The formula doesn't calculate
Well,
who.
yes, it does common opponents and it does was it strength is it strength of schedule? I forget the last one.
Quality wins.
Quality wins. Yeah, quality wins.
Also, like
Who does Kale Happel have quality wins over? He has over Jacob Frost a couple
head-to-head
times.
competition's 25% of it.
He's got Tegan Jameson, yeah. He does have a win over Brock Hardy as well, but
He's got some quality wins.
I think a win over Mendez is a better win though.
2 wins over Mendez.
Yeah, two wins.
But
Oh,
it's you guys are
And winning percentage is a factor too.
okay. What's his winning percentage?
He's 21-3.
Okay, so 21 out of
So
20.
compared to Bo, who only has one loss.
Well,
yeah.
so 21 divided by 24 is 87.5. How many matches does Bo have?
Um,
Not numbers guy.
Bo was 21-1.
So 21 divided by
So
22.
it's the difference between 95 and 87 and a half.
Yeah, I mean I don't know how they rank it.
Well,
You-
it says the
So the
percentages.
problem is that you're also trusting that they're actually going to use that formula correctly. I mean, we've seen them do interesting things with seeding in the past.
Well, it
That's
always seems
true.
like they weigh conference titles
Like a
more
ton.
heavily.
Yeah, it does seem like
That's
that.
what I'm
That is
saying.
true.
Cale Happel, I feel like, is a very good chance he ends up being the
Yeah, but
one.
Where's Cale Happel in the coaches rankings and in the
Low,
RPI?
low.
He's way down compared on both of those.
Is he? What's he? What is he?
Well, according to the WrestleStat RPI,
Yeah.
uh, hold on, I'm pulling it up. Cale Happel. Oh, they have coaches rankings too. Look at this website. Coaches ranking, Cale Happel's 3 and RPI is 5. Bo is 2 on both of those, so he outweighs him on both.
Okay, but that's only a percentage. It's that's only
All right, so but
percent
Bo's
of both.
beating him in everything but conference championship.
Yeah, your only point is the conference
Well, no,
championship.
you're also saying the head-to-head competition quality wins.
Bo has more quality wins.
I would say maybe they cancel out on quality wins. I don't think Happel has enough to propel him higher than Bo. I'll give him the 2. I'll give him the 2.
I'm saying it's not unreasonable that Happel gets the one.
I mean, did you see what
I
is it?
also don't think Happel deserves the one, but I'm saying I think it's
If only
very possible.
Ryan Jack were in here because he beat Cale Happel last year.
I mean, you
Also,
guys saw
uh,
that like the wrestling nomad, I think I sent it to you guys. He did like top 8 where he expects the top seeds for 141. It would almost be more based on his seeding, it would almost be more advantageous for the guy to be a 2 seed than a 1 because he has Bo at number 1, Happel at number 2, Hardy at 3, Mendez at 4, Cotterhant at 5, Vombar at 6, Jameson at 7, and Alirez at 8. So someone potentially would, if the 1 seed would have to get through Alirez and Mendez.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about Aliris much. I mean, that's pretty wild.
It's
I
what
don't
happens
see
with the
how
wrestling.
Aliris would be number 8 though. He still took third at the Big 12, so he only has one loss on the year to
yeah, one.
Tegan Jameson.
No quality wins.
CJ Composto, Josh Edmonds.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I mean, we've talked about it. Guys that kind of rest all year. It's the kind of new formula we're seeing where, they only have so few matches. And then if they lose in their conference, it kind of bites them because it's like, okay, well, you didn't wrestle anybody that deserves you to have a higher seed.
Yeah, Aliris is 11 on the RPI, 5 in
Yep.
the coaches ranking. So maybe he
Yeah,
could
he
be
could be
jumped.
lower. Maybe
Yeah.
he'll be the Carter of last year.
Yeah, we'll see.
Probably not.
141 is going to be super interesting because I mean, if Bo gets the 1 seed, it'll be the first time since they introduced this new seeding formula that someone who didn't win the conference is the 1 seed.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know how true that is, but
I read it on Matt Scouts. You can't,
Oh.
they don't put fake stuff on the internet.
you can trust everything.
Also, speaking of seats and everything, 285.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, we were talking about this.
It's gonna be Kirk as the 1 seed.
No, it's not. Kirk's gonna be the 4.
I don't think he's
There's
gonna
a good chance that Greg Kirkley could be the number 4. Although I was thinking about it a little bit afterwards. I forget what weight. I thought it was 97 or 285. Maybe too heavy 5, where there was an undefeated guy seated 5th or something.
recently.
Yeah, recently, I think.
Okay. But Owen Trifon, conference title, he's like top 3 in the RPI and coaches ranking. He yeah, won his conference. He's undefeated. Like I think he's gonna be higher than Greg.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean,
We could
Gable's going to be
probably
the
do the math
one.
out if we wanted to do this.
Wyatt's gonna be 2, Trifon's gonna be 3, and Greg's gonna be 4.
Yeah, that's rough.
I don't know.
And I remember seeing freaking Christian Piles having a thing where he was saying if the seating guys are going to have an opportunity to do the right thing or the wrong thing, we all know that Greg should be seated on the opposite side of the bracket as Gable. But
Yeah.
there, he's like was begging or pleading or whatever that they
Well,
didn't.
here's a question for the chat. Should there be more wrestling IQ in the seeding formula? Probably, probably. But the problem
Well,
is, like, when it comes to postseason, we just saw this at Big Ten. There's going to be upsets regardless of how it's going to
yeah,
shake out. So it's like you have these preset storylines, and if you spend so much time trying to get it perfect, then you're you're gonna miss out on potential big
Yeah, I mean, I think
upsets.
if you
And
stick to the numbers, like if you make it like you just got to like fine tune a formula that where the numbers make sense.
there's no right way. You're gonna offend someone some way or the other.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do at 125 though.
Give it to Luke. Kids worked for it.
Because you want Luke to have it doesn't mean that he should have it.
He's a beast.
Then
What
again,
about
Braden Davis
Jet
somehow got the one
Strickenberger?
seed. So,
Jet Strickenberger for number one seed. Ventresca?
yeah, that'd be pretty wild.
Ventresca could get it. Matt Ramos could even get it.
Totally unrelated. But were you guys surprised that Reese Whitcraft didn't get an at-large bid?
No.
I mean,
All right, so
9 and
Kyson
6 for
Sarakina
me.
didn't get one. Reese Whitcraft didn't get one. Um,
I'm not like surprised.
I think
He
there
went
was
0 and 2.
reasonable.
He didn't show up.
Yeah, like I'm not, I wouldn't go as far as like I'm shocked they didn't get it, but I mean, if you go through some of the guys that got at large bids, I was like, well, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't just qualify on their own right.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, like Evan Frost, Tyler Wells, I would have figured would have just qualified on their own right for placing in the tournament. Um, there were some other guys. Jackson Turley, Lorenzo Norman. Who else was there? Ryder Rogatsky, Joey Novak. It's funny that there's another Luke Cochran out there at 197, Central Michigan.
We're in disguise.
Yaroslav needed one. Trumbull needed one.
Mm-hmm.
Chumbly. Jaden
So
Abbas somehow does it again. And
how do you
Josh,
think I mean there's 8 undefeated guys. How many of those are gonna stay undefeated? I think mathematically 2 of them have to lose.
Who's still there?
well, Parker and Carter are two of them. So,
Yeah, one of
Yep,
them's
and
got.
then you have Wyatt and Gable.
oh yeah, so that's half of them right there.
So that's 4. Then and Trefan.
All right, so there we go.
Five. Yeah,
And then
at most three.
you have Keegan is undefeated.
I don't think
You
he's gonna.
have Messenbrink
Yep.
and you have Caleb Henson.
So that's at most six of those.
That's the 8. Those are the 8 undefeated guys. So
Yeah, maybe I did the math wrong.
so 3 of those have to lose. I think Trefan and Wyatt are gonna lose. So Gable's gonna stay undefeated. I
Oh, and
think.
Parker or Carter has to lose.
Yep.
At
So one
least
of
one of them
those.
has to.
At least one of them. Yep. I think it's only gonna be one of them though.
Well, how yeah,
I
how
think
wild
Messenbrink
would it be if both Parker and Carter lost and like McAnally won? Like how wild would that
McNally for Hodge. I mean,
be? Yeah, right?
these realistically, the undefeated people are probably going to be the Hodge Trophy contenders. Henson
Well,
probably won't win the Hodge.
Tough to not give it to Gable.
it depends on who wins it. Or
It's
who
going to be
goes on.
Messenbrink and Gable. They're going to share it, I think.
You think so?
Well,
I mean,
Messenbrink
depends
is the tech fall leader, so there's definitely
depends how Messenbrink does it. Like if he wrestles a close match again, or if he, texts Caliendo like he's
well,
done.
also, hey, if Gable, wrestles close matches.
Come on. What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's like watching the same guy here.
Oh, I forgot one. AJ Ferrari's undefeated.
He's not gonna finish that way.
So you're saying
Boo.
he ain't getting the title? He ain't
You're
gonna
I
be
not here
don't.
for a
I
good
national
don't.
champ
time.
working on 3 and 4?
No, I think he probably doesn't win it. I think that he's gonna be an All-American though.
But he dominated
Whoa, that's
Stephen
big for
Little.
you because you weren't thinking that at all.
I think I always had him as an All-American.
No, you were like
I don't know. After
maybe.
that Drexel takedown,
Yeah,
we were
you were
pretty
like
low on him.
I'm still
maybe
low
an
on him,
all.
but I don't think I've ever had him out of the top 8.
Mm,
You
your
said he was going to
tune.
maybe be
You're
fifth
wearing a
through eighth.
Ferrari shirt over there.
Maybe
Let's
be
see.
fifth.
Be
That's top
honest.
8.
You said maybe, like it was maybe going to happen, not gonna
So
happen.
yeah, and it's maybe gonna happen. He could take 6th, 7th, or 8th.
All right, Mike, be honest. Do you have Mr. Fast Twitch on your Spotify?
He's in the other room, actually.
He's in the other
We
room.
just finished a great deadlift session in my basement. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
So did you hike the shorts up, take the shirts off, and flex?
I just think he's the funniest dude ever. I gotta be honest with you, man. Every time I watch him, he's like just a cartoon.
Yeah.
I think that he has the best chance out of anyone to go to the WWE because he's just basically like
He doesn't want it. He wants MMA.
he's a terrible his wrestling's obviously very solid. His jiu-jitsu's not great and his striking is not great. He's very for a guy that's as athletic as he is, he's very slow with his hands. He moves very stiff in his upper body. Um,
Well, those partial reps are preparing him. So
don't even get me started. Like every time I send him his highlights of like working out to like other people that I know in the field, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this idiot again."
yeah.
Well, then how do you get all those muscles?
It's why he's always hurt. The
Mm.
dude is like constantly hurt, and he's like, "Yeah, I have no idea why." As he wears as he's held together with duct tape and stuff, doing Joel Seedman-esque workouts. I mean, people aren't here for me to talk about exercise science. So AJ is going to be an All-American. I don't think he's going to be a national champion. That's the end of that one.
But he's the fastest, greatest ever national
Could
champion.
you imagine like saying that with like Kale Sanderson and Bo Nickel and like other like amazing wrestlers in your weight class at one point?
Well, he would beat him though.
You would. That's
I'm
We
surprised you
all
didn't
know
say
that.
Aaron Brooks.
I forget Aaron Brooks wrestled 97 sometimes.
It was only for a season. Doesn't really
That was
count.
only first season.
Oh, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. He talked about in an interview, and this is my last word in it, something 2028 Olympics, and
Yeah.
I was like,
I
who
was
does
like,
this
eh?
guy think he is? I was
I don't
like,
know
you
about
haven't
that.
done freestyle since 2017.
And you didn't do very good last time you did that.
Yeah, he didn't.
Like, I don't think it was 2017. It might have been a little bit after that, but um, yeah, he's not a freestyle wrestler. And then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna win the Olympics after I win my 4th national title. And I was like, man, I wish I lived in the delusional state that he does. I was
Yeah, but when
close.
he does it though, how devastated are you going to be?
Dude, if he does it and he wins the Olympics, I will get an AJ Ferrari tattoo. Put it,
Whoa.
You
I'll
heard
put
it
it,
here
I have this
first.
both sides done. I'll put him right in the middle.
Woo.
Yeah, just get a Ferrari right there.
It'll
Yeah.
be his face on Lightning McQueen's body to go ka-chow. And it'll stand at
Ciao.
665 or whatever he says for his deadlift is now. Um, but yeah, I would get an if he won the 2028 Olympics, I would get an AJ Ferrari tattoo. So
You'd have to.
you have to. Yeah, he has
Yeah.
3 years to get it done.
Yeah.
Book it.
Book it. I hope it, come back to this video in 3 years. Hopefully by that point I'll have the cactus tattoo done as well, and I'll have
Yeah.
the AJ Ferrari tattoo.
So drop a comment down below. What are your thoughts heading into the NCAA wrestling tournament? And stay tuned because we are going to be doing our fantasy lineup again and giving them maybe some prize giveaways for the top. We gave a shirt out last year. Maybe we'll give out a hat this year. So be once the seeds come out. So this video will be posted on Wednesday. Tonight, the seeds in the brackets will be posted. Stay tuned because we're going to be doing bracket previews for every single weight team preview and then a fantasy uh, lineup. So more to come, rules and everything. Same as last year if you played along last year. And yeah, be on the lookout for it. Should be fun. Heading into nationals. And then Mike and I will be there. Yeah. So if you're coming to
Hey.
nationals, we'll see you in Philly. So as always, hit that like button, subscribe, and thanks for watching Cactus Wrestling.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.